Look, sentiment in the home building industry is at all-time lows. Builders are very skeptical and really scared to build any kind of spec homes and even get involved with constructing new homes for clients. What's the reason? Well, they say we're in a housing recession, and certainly the volume of home purchases is plummeting. Not as many houses being purchased. The prices are still holding about where they have been. There may be a little softness in some areas. Some areas are actually even higher in the last 3-4 months. But the volume is down. It's a lot of psychology in this housing recession. However, there's one thing to keep in mind, that as a builder, this might be the best time to build a house. If nobody else is building, you could be the contrarian, where you're not going to go out and build 10 spec homes, but lumber prices are down. Labor is a little bit more available. There's not as much of a competition for building new homes. But what is still in place is the demand. There are still 4 or 5 million unfulfilled home buyers out there that tried to buy a house in the last 24 months and couldn't because of bidding wars, because of lack of inventory. And they're still out there. Yeah, there's more inventory, but if you could, and some of that inventory are houses that maybe are what they call left-handed, meaning that they're not the best options. They're not very appealing, not competitive. If you build a new house, well, first of all, now you have no apologies. Everything is brand new. And if you can use efficient construction methods and don't overbuild, you don't want to build a $900,000 house, $800,000 house. Depending on the fees and the land costs in your area, if you can build something for $340,000, $350,000, maybe $400,000, sell it at the current median price, which is $440,000, I think, or $430,000, make a little bit of a profit, and still have a new house for median money, you might be an opportunity where you can turn a house. That's if you don't have any other work to do. Look, if you got remodels and additions, forget about it. But if you're a builder, you build a house that you can sell for mid to low fours, you're not going to get hurt on that house. Doesn't matter what happens with recession, even if they say it's no signs of abating. Probably true. The volume is probably not going to be what it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But there's still people that need to buy a house. If you have a brand new home, constructed properly, offered at or around the median home price, you're probably not going to get hurt on that deal, and you can make a little bit of a profit. This may not be really important right this second, because there's still a backlog of work. Look, we're talking to a lot of subs. We talked to a roofing sub 2 days ago that is 12 to 14 months backlog. If you book him right now, he can probably get to it by the end of 23, maybe beginning of 24. Roofing job. He's booked. That's good. But at some point, this backlog will start to erode away. So maybe if you have property, or you can get a property on option or lock up a property, start putting in the permits. It doesn't cost much for permits, a few grand. Start putting in some design work, maybe site work, in between doing other jobs. You can scratch around with your excavator. You probably don't want to start, digging septic systems or pouring concrete, but at least start to get the lot ready so that if the beginning of 23 or the middle of 23, there's an opportunity to knock out a house, you're ahead of the game. You're not 6 months behind on permits and approvals. So even though it's counterintuitive, a lot of you might say you're crazy, there might be a really good time to build some medium price house. You're not going to build below market house. It just costs too much to build between labor and materials. But you can probably build something in the 400 to 500 range, depending on what the permit fees and development costs are in your area, that you can turn out a house and work on it in between your other jobs to keep all your equipment busy and keep your capital improvements amortized.